to you live from their studio in South Florida, Twist Gaming. Featuring lead broadcaster, Matt Koza. Co-host and creative genius, Josh Perry. Co-host and interviewer extraordinaire, Ann Lazito. Co-host and marketing mogul, Aaron Murphy. With appearances from special guest, Lucy. Welcome to Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us.
Good evening, everyone. This is Twist Gaming. As you heard in the video, I'm Matt.
I'm Ann.
I'm Josh.
And we are joined today with two special guests from Maple Games. We've got Ken and Chris. Gentlemen, how you doing today?
Doing great.
So tonight is our spotlight stream where we show off games just coming out into the industry, into the biz, getting some extra spotlight on them, if you will. Yeah. And tonight we have the pleasure of showing off Imagineers by Maple Games. When Josh was telling me about this game, I got to read through the rulebook. I got super excited. I am a big theme park nerd. Played Roller Coaster Tycoon a bunch growing up. This looks like it's going to check a lot of boxes for me, so I'm really excited to get into this here today. So I'm going to do my favorite part of the stream here. I'm going to take this little ball, mash it up, and I'm going to throw it over to Ann. There you go. Good catch.
Thank you very much. Well, I needed to practice because, I needed to understand my trajectory so I could build my really great amusement park. No? Anybody?
Wow.
Bueller.
Bueller.
Kat and Chris, thank you so much for taking the time this evening to hang out with us and showing us your game, Imagineers. We really appreciate it. So Maple Games is publishing the game for you guys. Maple's kind of a newer, it's not, the people behind Maple are not new to the board game scene, but this is a newer publisher. So we're taking Imagineer on Kickstarter tomorrow?
Yes.
Tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
Fantastic.
9 a.m. Eastern. Be there.
Be there, be there, be there.
Monday. No, Tuesday.
So, Chris, you and I have hung out at a couple of the conventions talking about a couple of different games, but this time we're talking about a game with your name on the box. Talk to me a little bit about Imagineers and where the idea for this project came for you guys.
Oh, boy. So this game has been gestating in my brain for almost 20 years. So as long as I've been designing games as a hobby designer, this has been one that I've been thinking about. So this started way back in 1999, back before the aughts, and it was my friend and I had an idea for a take on like a Magic the Gathering type game, except instead of fighting each other with fantasy creatures, you would actually be building parks and then going to sabotage one another with like arsonists and saboteurs and things like that. And it was, I didn't play Magic. My friend Neil played Magic. I didn't know enough about it to say, well, this is becoming very unwieldy really fast, so like suddenly we had a deck of cards that was like that high. I mean, it was like crazy. And so over the years, the game sort of got put on the back burner and I was doing other things, but I always wanted to make a game about amusement parks, just like you mentioned, Matt. Roller Coaster Tycoon was like iconic for me. I played so much of that. And, games would pop up, things like Steam Park would come around and things like that were good, but there was no just really good Roller Coaster Tycoon style game that was well known, that I knew about. So, the idea was always there for me to do this, and it kind of meandered around in my brain. And then last year, I had this idea for how to do it, but I couldn't make it work. So I grabbed that guy, Ken, and I said, I got this idea for this thing. It's got like column movement. You get to build rides. You get to make people happy. And Ken, what was your response?
I said, let's do this thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Let's do this. He jumped up on the bed. It was at PAX Unplugged last year. Jumped up on the bed, said, let's do this thing. I said, Ken, please get down. He wouldn't. He stayed there for 6 weeks. And then finally he got down and we started making this game.
It's an expensive hotel.
Chris, I refer you to the NDA you signed at PAX Unplugged last year. My lawyers will be in contact. No, Chris and I became close friends when my first game, The Mansky Caper, got unceremoniously bumped out of the way by this new game called Roll For It. And Chris and I became very fast friends after that, and we've done a lot of things. I'm very blessed to know him. And so when he said, would you collaborate with me on a game, it took me 0.62 seconds to say yes.
It's very
so
specific.
He sent me these tiles that he was working on, and we started fiddling with it. And it actually gelled quite nicely. We had lots of balance problems between the attractions and the rides, between long-term planning, short-term planning, staff being too powerful, staff being not powerful enough. But we had known each other long enough that we could communicate rather quickly. And it really only took about 6 weeks to have something that was not only playable, but fun.
Wow.
Yeah. So like 18 years of me just dragging my feet with it. And then Ken shows up, and in like 6 weeks, we have the dang thing ready to go. So, that's huge. But that's the whole thing. The game was it was an assortment of cool things that weren't working together. And Ken came in and he just put them all together like an erector set or Legos or bristle blocks. I don't know.
Legos, please. Let's keep this high class, all right?
He's classic. That's your jam, the Legos. That's really cool, though, that even after so long, the theme of the amusement park really continued on. How many other elements continued from the original idea? And, what did Ken bring to the table that he was able to maybe take away? What maybe things did he add? Do you have specific examples or something really interesting through that process? I mean, it's amazing that you guys were able to take this 20-year-old idea and refine it in less than, 2 months. That's cool.
Yeah, well, it was all cards in the beginning. It was a card game. And then it changed over the years. It became a deck building game, right around the time 2012 or so when Dominion was really big. Suddenly it became a deck building game, and it became a dice drafting game at one point. So it was basically the only through line for everything was I knew I wanted to make an amusement park game. It needed to be about amusement parks. It needed to be about the things that were in Roller Coaster Tycoon, building the rides, having a staff, moving guests around, getting them to the right place. And I somewhere in the middle of all the development is when I learned about Mancala, which I didn't really know anything about. It's like one of the oldest games in history, and the way you pick up the stones and you move them around this board. I thought that's a elegant way to move guests around the park, is if you pick them up and you actually move them one at a time around the park. It solves a lot of issues I was having with the game as far as how you dictate how these guests are going to move, because at one point it was like one player would move the guests after a different player had gone. That way they could kind of mess up the plans, but it was too take that-y, So when I brought it to Ken, it had the idea of this Mancala movement. In fact, the code name at the time on my folder on the computer was Six Flags Mancala was the name of it in there. So when I brought it to Ken, it sort of had that idea. But the problem I had was that the tiles themselves that you play, which we'll take a look at a little bit later, I couldn't get the balance right with attractions. And then I had this idea that you would build up your own roller coaster, but it was too unwieldy. So, right. Ken, when you came in...
Yeah, when we started out, all of the tiles were one-sided. So there were tiles with roller coasters and there were tiles with attractions. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, that made the game too luck-dependent because we tried to keep it a short game within an hour. And you only had 12 decisions to make. And if you didn't draw decent roller coasters, you lost. Well, that's not fun.
Right.
So then we came up with the idea of having the coaster upgrades on the other side from the attractions. That solved that problem. And then it was a matter of just, there are 3 pieces of currency in the game. There's cost and money. There's happiness for the people who are riding it. And then there's fame for the person who either builds the attraction or, in the case of roller coasters, makes an amazing roller coaster. And just getting those to balance is what took it the rest of the way.
I mean,
and sometimes it's so simple. It's the idea of having a double-sided tile. You're like, well, yeah, it's simple. Well, it hadn't come up in any of the play tests. It was just people were trying to figure out the balance of how to get enough of this type of tile in the bag that you drew from, and Ken was the first to say, if you just made them two-sided, and it was like the light switch, like, oh yeah, that's right, and the light bulb went off.
It's quite a challenge. We were talking about this. We keep on comparing this to Roller Coaster Tycoon, and that's a game where, I didn't play Roller Coaster Tycoon so much, but I definitely lived inside of my SimCity, and that's a game that you would lose days of your life into. So yeah, so I can imagine that it was a challenge for you guys to try to develop something that plays in about an hour. What were the big things that the strategic changes you made in order to make this fit within an hour?
Well, it was a matter of deciding that it wasn't an open-ended game.
Yeah.
One of the things that, again, came up after playtesting was, this could go on forever. And so we just said, okay, we'll make it 12 turns.
Yeah. We limited
12 turns.
Rounds, and we said that, and what that did was it gave people a sense of things ramping up as you got towards the end. And actually, one of the things that Maple did, which I think was brilliant during development, Daryl and Adrian said, what if we tweak that a little bit? So instead of 8 rounds or 12 rounds or whatever it might be, what if there's a last round card that gets shuffled into the final 3 cards when you have an event every round that dictates what happens that round? Well, what if the last round card is shuffled into the bottom 3? So you don't know when the game's going to end. It might end right away, or it may take a couple extra rounds before it ends. The good news was, though, that even from the early days, there's some thought process that goes into how you move your guests around the park to maximize how many people are riding certain things. Okay. But the turns go really quick, and everyone's engaged because you're almost campaigning during the game to get people to ride your stuff. Hey, you can put that blue person here on this water ride. And they're like, yeah, but you own that. Yeah, I'll get some happiness, but you're going to get some good stuff out of it too. So there's a little bit of that going on. So there's some good interaction with that kind of stuff. And even at the early days, the 4-player game was playing in about a half hour, 40 minutes. So it was just a matter of, can we actually juice this thing up to 6 players and make sure that it still plays within an hour? And luckily, it worked really well with the same rules and parameters as the 4-player did.
I have 2 things that kind of guide my heart when I'm in on a game. First of all, I'm big into non-zero-sum games where something benefits me and the other player. And there's a lot of this because you can benefit from riding other people's rides, and they benefit too. Mm-hmm. You just have to decide where the balance is so that it's a little more for you. But it's not all about I win, you lose. Second, because there's only 10 to 12 rounds in the game, depending on the number of players, every decision is a little more tense. I'm using up an entire round with this decision. Right. Well, that's the same adrenaline rush you get when you're riding a theme park ride. So it makes it a more immersive experience that fits the theme.
That's very cool. I like the way that you look at it like that. And to bring back the Mancala thing, I'm really excited to see how you have the Mancala movements in here. It's a game that, as you said, is one of the world's oldest games, and it was a game I was introduced to maybe last year and is now one of my son's favorite games. He plays it weekly, and it's so simple and elegant, and I love to see those kinds of mechanisms incorporated into games. And I can see a game like this where you've got worker placement. I mean, I see where your guys' thoughts have been to simplify this game and to have that kind of simplified, elegant movement integrated into the game. I'm really curious to see how that works. So with no further ado, can you guys tell me how to play Imagineers?
Let's go to Chris for a summary of the rules of Imagineers.
Take it away, Chris.
Here we go. Dateline 2018. No. Okay.
Now, I do want to just clarify before we jump into this is the prototype version of the game that we're going to be playing and discussing here. So again, if you're watching this on the Kickstarter video, some of these pieces may not be final, and it's just very important to keep in mind.
Yes,
I love a good disclaimer. I really do.
That's a good disclaimer.
Also, this may cause heartburn, indigestion.
Good times. It'll cause good times.
Yeah, I can tell you right now. So, like the path tiles that you see, the attraction tiles that are on the paths there that have certain little pieces of art and stuff. Some of those have changed, absolutely. So that is a fantastic disclaimer because things are constantly changing and evolving with this game. So you're absolutely right about that.
And that's the beauty of Kickstarter, right? Is you'll have a bunch of backers who, if you're looking at these components and you have comments, criticisms, input, going into, backing and going into the comment section is a great way to get your voice heard by the publisher.
And
absolutely.
Ken, this one's
so,
for you. Oh, sorry about that, Chris. Just 1 second here. This is for you, Ken. One more disclaimer about the rules of the game. So the way that we do things here is I've read through the rules, so I'm a little bit more familiarized. Josh kind of got a little secondhand. He read through the setup. And then Anne is going in completely blind. So if you see us questioning things a little more heavily on certain aspects of the game, it's because some of us don't know about this, and that's to more easily show you guys that are watching on Kickstarter, on YouTube, on Twitch, basically how easy the game is to pick up the first go around and to really sink your teeth into it.
Absolutely.
And we'll know how confusing it is by how loudly and hard you bang your fist on the table as you ask questions. What does this mean?
What is it?
Why do you do it that way?
What? Don't give them ideas, Chris. This is why I gave you the Xanax before the stream. Did you not take it?
It doesn't even kick. All right, anyway. So in Imagineers, all of the players own a theme park together. And as you can see from the board, it's not the best theme park in the world right now. It's kind of got a few basic things. It's not, it's a little ho-hum at the moment. But you and your team are going to change that. Now, you are building this park together, but you are not cooperating. You want to make sure that you are the Imagineer at the end of this thing who makes the biggest name for themselves. You want to have the most fame. All right, so you have the board there in the middle of the table. There are some path tiles that you will cover up some of the spaces depending on the number of players. There's actually some blank path tiles that will cover certain spaces so that you can customize the board to the number of players. And then all of the players are going to be working on this main board, but they're each going to also get their own coaster, their own roller coaster. And coasters has a different theme. So there's a Old West coaster. There's a steampunk coaster.
I've got a ghoster.
There you go. A ghost coaster.
A roller coaster.
A roller coaster. So everyone will have a roller coaster, and the roller coasters will be upgraded throughout the course of the game to make them even better. So there you go. There's one of the boards right there. And as you can see, this is all prototype stuff, but the roller coaster has 4 spaces that can be upgraded because the art underneath shows you that this is a pretty junky coaster. In fact, even that big drop hill in the upper left won't even be there in the final version. It's all going to be these little like the dragon carnival ride that you always see when you go to carnivals. That's really terrible. It's a really bad roller coaster, and you're going to upgrade it with loops and drops and all kinds of crazy stuff. So everyone gets one of those roller coaster boards. Everybody gets the matching colored ownership markers. You also get a money marker that goes at the bottom and starts on 4.
I would show that off, but it's green.
Curious. Oh, no. They're all green. Okay.
It's green, so yeah, there you go. You'll also get a happiness marker, which is going to start at 3 in that little
that's a bad idea.
that little circular fun thing in the upper right of the roller coaster board. It starts on 3, and that's your happiness meter. As you make people happy, that will go clockwise around there, and every time it passes from 5 back to 1, you're going to gain 1 fame on the center track that's on the board, the big board, that is. And everybody starts with 0 fame. So you put your little. We'll get to the fame in just a moment because that's how you determine the first player. But you'll have the big board, you'll have your coaster board, and you got some things that go on there. You have your ownership markers, and I should point this out because the version you have, the ownership markers are those little purple, like right there, it's a purple one, right? The little wooden stick, right? Sure, that says that's the purple player's ride.
Ooh, can I say it? Can I say it, please?
Sure.
Oh, 2 days ago, we had the idea of giving each of the rides a name. So you'll get a set of 2-sided ride names. that fit in the little notch in the top of the attraction.
Oh,
So
And
you'll
so
get
now
two.
they're not just ownership markers. They don't just have a color. Each one will have something called like the whiz bang or the zippity doo dah or whatever it might be.
that's awesome.
And when you put your ownership marker on, it's not just a purple bar. It's actually like a signpost that's purple, but then it has the name. And so the tile that you see there actually will have that, see a little bar that's at the top right there. That whole little area is going to be gone. And instead, the top of the tile has almost like a little notch etched into it. And then the ownership marker will slot into that little spot at the top. It'll go all the way across the top. So that's Daryl and Peter and the team from Maple. They had this idea to maybe do this. And then as we were talking about it, it became this awesome thing. So that's how fast things change with Maple. It's really amazing. They come up with these great ideas. And that one, we had some fun coming up with names. We really put our dad joke,
Oh, I can't wait.
cap.
I can
Yeah, had
feel
some
the
fun.
excitement.
The fantasy player, there's a fantasy roller coaster. So it's all like, Hobbit type names and things like that. And I had the elf motivator, things like that. Just fun little names like that. But anyway, getting back into this, I'm sorry, we're way off track here. Roller coaster. Sorry. So you have the board. Everyone's got their coaster board, and you start with a money tracker that goes on 4. You start with a happiness tracker that goes on 3. You take everybody's fame marker that's going to go in the center of the board, and one player kind of takes them all like dice in their hand, and then puts them down one at a time on the 0 on the fame track in the middle.
Pick mine first.
No. Well, you know why I'm doing it, right? Because the rules state whoever went to a theme park last.
You live in Disney World. Matt's favorite thing is the monorail.
I love the monorail.
Oh, I love the monorail.
Por favor, manténganse alejandro de las puertas.
Oh my God, you know it too. That makes me so happy.
He's got it on
I'm
a
so
shirt.
sad. I was so sad I couldn't sit up front with the engineer the last time I went. That made me very sad.
I got to do it once, and I was so happy.
He's got it on his shirt.
I've got monorail socks. Oh, this
All right,
is
so
great.
now we got that. Now the first player is going to be the one at the, Ken, help me out here, bottom of the stack.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, he's going to disagree with us. I think it's the top.
In the current rule book, it might say the top, but in future rounds, it will be the one at the bottom.
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
So Josh.
Yes. So,
Okay.
what about?
So
Is
then
there
Josh will
discussion?
be first. He's got the gray.
Josh will be first because he's got the gray.
There we go. So we have that stuff. Now everybody's got their coaster. Now you have to take all of the tiles, all of the park tiles, and those park tiles are two-sided, those little square tiles, and make 2 stacks. After you shuffle each of them up individually, you're going to do 2 stacks. You're going to have a stack of two equal stacks. One where the attraction is face up, and one where the roller coaster upgrade is face up.
So
So you take all of those
these two.
fantastic tiles,
Am I doing my life?
and you make sure that they're 2 somewhat even stacks, and then give them a shuffle. But all of one stack should be with the attraction face up, and all of the others should be with the roller coaster face up.
Now, one interesting point, you're not allowed to look at the underside of a tile before you pick it. But you can always know that the cost of the attraction side and the cost of the coaster upgrade side always adds to 7. If you see an attraction face up that's got a cost of 5, you know that if you choose to use that for a coaster, it's going to be a $2
when we get to
attraction, and probably not as cool.
Yeah, that'll make perfect sense when we get to the draw phase.
I think I did my
Go
life
back
wrong.
to my room now.
Yeah, I don't know why. I can't shuffle for the life of me. I don't know why y'all handed
Josh
this.
loves shuffling.
Yeah, what? 'Cause
It's
he
basically his favorite pastime.
does it for hours.
Truffle shuffling. All right, so Josh, you shuffle those up
All
and
right,
put those into 2 piles.
Now, while we do that, the other thing is someone needs to take those 24 guest meeples.
Yep.
So there's 8 red, 8 yellow, 8 blue. Someone's got to randomize those. You can put them in a box top, or you put them in a bag, or just put them in your hands if you've got giant hands and you can fit them all in your hand.
You do.
And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put 2 guests on each path tile that shows the 2 little meeples. on it.
Can I put a top hat on one and call him Bob?
No. So all of the ones that have the two meeples, including this one here, it's got like the two meeples with a little arrow next to it as well.
It'll just be the path ones. That I believe is an outdated image. So what you're looking at is the paths between attractions right now.
So
basically, you're putting people in line to get to attractions.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
ignore anything within the squares and look at the paths themselves that show.
There you go.
And that's exactly right. So you draw and you put out 2 in each of those paths, and those are the paths leading up to some attractions.
Okay.
That wasn't so great.
Okay, so that goes over here.
So
while we do this, what's up next?
The other thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take there's event cards and there's movement cards. Movement cards are yellowish and the event cards are the purple and white. There you go. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to shuffle the movement cards and create a movement deck. And you want to have 9 cards in the movement deck. So shuffle them up. There's 3 players, correct? That's what we're playing with?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, so you want to have 9 cards. So deal out 9 and then put any remaining cards back in the box. You won't use those for the game.
Can you count to 9 or do you need help?
He's got to take his shoes off.
We could put a guide in the rule book how to count to 9. And then for the event cards, what you want to do is find the last round card. One of the cards in the event deck says last round.
Just like that too, it says it.
Yep.
There you go. So you set that one aside, shuffle the rest of them, and then what you'll do is take let's see. It's exactly how it says. Shuffle all the event cards and create a face-down event deck based on the number of players. So you want to have 9 cards in that, including the last round. So what you want to do is shuffle 2 of the bottom cards with the last round. So the bottom 3 cards will be last round and 2 others. You randomize those so that you have 9 cards in the deck altogether.
Perfect.
If that makes sense.
Certainly.
Why, certainly.
We good?
Now,
so.
do you have the roller coaster gateway tiles?
Yes, I do.
Aren't
And
these?
the-
The red ones that you put right next.
Yes,
behind
So
there
there's
we go.
gonna be-
I was looking for them. Those are the ones where
Yeah,
they're
each
red
of
on
the
both
roller
sides.
coasters- Yeah, each of the coasters you should have a matching roller coaster entrance tile.
That's your ghost coaster.
The roller coaster. Thank you very much. And you've got the Wild West one.
No, I've got Little Mushroom Land. Aren't
Is
these
that
supposed to
this
be?
one? Oh, Little Mushroom.
Aren't
Land.
these supposed to be all the white side face up
No,
and not the
no.
color
One
side?
Tiles.
side is the white side face up, and the other side is the color side face up.
Oh, okay, good talk.
That's correct.
So one side is the coaster cards, and the other one is the
attraction?
red attraction cards. So Josh, which one are you?
I got mine.
But which one are you?
The
Industrial.
screws.
Oh, industrial. Okay. Gotcha.
The steampunk.
This is demo. All right, and then what you want to do is, so Josh, you're the first player, is that correct?
Yep.
So you get to choose one of the red spaces on the board and place your coaster entrance there. That's where your coaster lives. So that's basically the pathway between the big board and your personal little coaster board. So choose any one of those red spaces on the big board and just plop it down, and then put one of your ownership markers in your color at the top to
Make sure-
remind everybody this is mine. And then the next player goes and picks a spot and
That
puts
would
their
be Anne.
Josh, I'm really happy you
Yeah.
chose somewhere where you could reach, so that way I don't have to reach it for you.
Okay. And I'm going to be unique here. I'm going to go down at the bottom because I want everyone to see mine the best because
Oh, and
it
we
is the best.
completely botched this, though. This should have been in reverse player order, actually. It should have been starting with the last player and going counterclockwise. I'm so sorry.
It's
I
okay.
screwed that up.
It's okay.
It
Nobody.
just occurred to me. I'm like, hey, this is so unbalanced. Who invented this game? And then I realized, oh, we already fixed this issue.
No.
We
See, look,
fixed the glitch.
Chris, I just fixed it here. I just reversed turn order.
Wait, how did
Oh,
you make yourself
there you
first
go.
player now?
I reversed the turn order.
No, this is not.
Matt, we will accept your check for payment later on today. Wonderful. All right, so we have all of our stuff. Our money trackers have been placed on 4 and happiness on 3. That's all taken care of.
Besides Anne, because she lost her markers.
I was not given happiness.
Yeah, you are.
You guys just take my happiness away from me.
That's true.
Oh. And then in player order, everybody takes one of the attraction tiles and one of the roller coaster the coaster upgrade tiles. So right off the top of the stack, you grab those two, then the next player grabs those two, and then the third player grabs those two.
Okay.
All right, so now it is time to begin the game. So before we actually start, I'm going to explain how this is going to go. So there's 3 steps to every round or every turn. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to play a tile from your hand. So you have 2 tiles in your hand, and you can flip those things and take a look at them. So you could play a tile as an attraction, in which case you play it to any one of the gray spaces that's on the board, and you pay the cost that's in the upper left with the wrenches. So that's one thing you could do, is to build an attraction.
Matt, do you want to put your attraction tile in the cam, and we'll have Chris talk to us about how to read the attraction tile?
So I got this sweet water ride here.
So this sweet blue attraction here would cost 2 to build. Later on, when guests start moving, if you move a guest to this tile and they are blue, because the guests have to match the color, the person who moved it there is going to get 3 happiness. That's the bottom right. And you see the little meeple. That means you moved a meeple there. You moved a guest. You get 3 happiness. And whoever owns this tile, the bottom left, bottom left has the top hat. That means the owner gets 1 money for it, because they're the one who gets the money. And at the end of the game, when you're scoring, the owner of this will get 1 fame, which is in the upper right. So that's what those different things mean. And that's what Ken was talking about as far as the non-zero sum, because you can land on your own rides and get all of the stuff for it. But if that's just not a possibility, you may choose to land on somebody else's thing because maybe you really need happiness, and you'll give them $1 and it's going to give you 3 happiness towards a fame. So that's not such a bad thing.
And like Ken was saying, if I flipped over this tile, I know that there's a roller coaster piece on the other side with a cost of 5 because it's going to total up to 7.
Bam! Double
loop. Right. Look at there.
So now this side, if that's the second thing you can do, when you play a park tile, you can either do it as an attraction, which we talked about. You can upgrade your roller coaster by playing this tile on top of your personal roller coaster board. It will cost you 5 to build it. Whenever someone lands on it, they are going to get the 3 happiness that's in the bottom because they moved the person there. And whoever owns this coaster is going to get 1 happiness and 1 fame, as showing there. And in addition to that, if you look at your roller coaster boards in the upper left, there's always a base amount of money and happiness that people are going to get whenever the roller coaster gets ridden. No matter if
there it is, Ian.
There'll always be at least a little bit of something that people get when you ride a roller coaster.
$2 and 1 happiness is your initial.
Yeah, so right. $2 to the owner, 1 happiness to the rider, because hey, it makes them a little bit happy, I guess. So
but as the coaster gets bigger, all of those numbers get added up. So if you have a 4-item coaster, it's a huge transaction for both the rider and the owner.
Or for both if you on your own coaster.
Or yeah, if you ride your own coaster, then it's double great. Now, the other thing you need to notice is excuse me. There is a negative points if you don't get your coaster completely built before the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and finally, the fame you get for coasters is instant. The fame you get for attractions is only at the end of the game.
Okay.
Yes. So the fame that's showing there, the owner will get immediately, but yeah, you won't get the fame amount for attractions until the very end. So we talked about building attractions. We talked about building coaster upgrades. The third thing you could do with a tile is throw it out of the game. And the reason you would do that is because you want to activate a staff action. So there are 3 different types of staff members who are always ready, willing, and able to help you if for some reason you don't have the money to build something else or you really got to do something specific. So you can throw a tile away to bring in the vendor. So a vendor will get you $5 immediately. So you throw away a tile and you say, I'm taking a vendor action and I'm getting $5. You can do that. Now you've sacrificed the ability to play a tile, but maybe you really needed that money for the next round. So that's one of the staff actions. The second is a janitor. So, people make messes at amusement parks. It's gross, but it's true. It just happens. These rides are very fast. So you should have an orange cone-looking thing hanging around there somewhere. I think it's towards the whiteboard. There it is. That is the mess token. So if you throw a tile away and say, I'm doing the janitor, well, someone's made a mess. And if you what you'll do is you'll place that on a path tile or a path space. And if you place it on a path space where there are meeples, those meeples will immediately get up and they will move to the corresponding clockwise paths one at a time, Mancala style. So you actually pick up, you'd put a yellow or red one there, and then you'd move the next one to the next space. So you'd move them along. So that's one way to, and then the other thing is that mess leads to an attraction. No one will land on that path or that attraction because there's a mess there. So you're basically blocking that attraction from someone being able to ride it. So that's the janitor action. The third staff action you can take is a performer. So a juggler or someone with, I don't know, a puppet is running around, or a big furry fuzzy mascot is coming out and going,
Mr. Giant Mango Head is coming.
Yes. So if you do the performer action, you throw a tile away, get it out of the game, and then you can move any one guest to any other path space in the entire park.
Mommy, I want to see Mr. Giant Mango Head.
They won't immediately find anything. But they will go somewhere else. And the only restriction is they can't go to a messy path because no one wants to go to a messy path. And they won't go to a path that has 4 meeples on it already because that is a line, and they will pass right over that line and go to the next path.
There's no fast
May I make a
passes
point
in this
about the
park.
janitor there, Chris?
Sure.
Because I can see the wheels turning in Josh's head. He says, I'm going to put a mess just before Matt's roller coaster.
Tisk, tisk.
Tisk, tisk. You may only put messes in front of attractions, not in front of coasters.
Yes, and that is a distinction. Attractions are considered to be the spaces on the board that are regular rides. They are not roller coasters. So attractions and roller coasters are different things. All right, so the first step was to play a park tile. Do it as an attraction, upgrade, or staff. Second is time to move guests. Now, this is where the Mancala movement stuff comes in, right? So when we play, so let's just do this because when we start this first round, this is what it's going to be.
Sure.
Flip the top card of the movement deck and flip the top card of the event deck and put them right on top of their respective decks.
So I'm going to show them off
There you
up
go.
close here. So the top
There you
part
go.
of the
So movement is going to say you have to move a group with exactly 2 guests of any color. So the restriction is you have to move, and this is really good in the beginning of the game because there's 2 everywhere. But some of these movement cards will say you have to move a group that has red, or you have to move a group that has blue, or whatever it might be. So in this case, during this round, all 3 of you will have to move a group with exactly 2 guests of any color.
Okay, so it restricts
right.
your options each round in kind of randomized fashion then.
Correct. And then the event card that you draw
Hype!
will hype. When this card is revealed, all players may immediately trade $4 for 3 happiness, or 3 happiness for $4. You can if you want, but I don't know that you'd really want to at this point because it's pretty early in the game. But
Well, you've got 3 happiness.
Yeah,
you do.
If
So
you turn it into $4, you'll have $8
Yeah,
for
I
your
want
first
$8.
round.
I'm
And
doing
if
that
you've got
too.
some pricey stuff,
that's true.
and you could buy 3 happiness. For 6. And,
I'm
and,
sacrificing happiness for money. This is like real life. It's a little too close to home.
Oh, I love it.
I could see
All right, so that goes on top. So that defines this round. So we talked about you play a park tile and then you move. Now in this case, you have to move. Matt, let's just go through this thing. So which tile would you like to play? Now when you go to move, remember it's going to be Mancala style, and you're going to move people 1 guest at a time to attraction spaces, and then they will shuffle over to the corresponding path that goes clockwise after it when they're done.
Gotcha.
So what kind of tile do you have? What would you like to play here on the board?
So I'm not a huge fan of the attractions that I got, but I do like this coaster loop that I got. So I think I'm going to go ahead and play this and do a coaster modification right off the bat. Give myself a double loop. It's expensive, but I've got some cash.
Yeah, because you're not happy at all, but you're rich.
Yeah.
Exactly. But every time someone lands on this, I'm going to gain a happiness as well as a fame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you spend your 5 buckaroos.
So I go down to
And you
$3.
place that here. There
Put
you go.
that
That
right
goes
over
there. All right. So now you've played a tile. and it's time to move. So you can look around and let's see. You just got to pick 2 guests, and then what you're going to do is you're going to move them clockwise, placing one on the next, attraction space, and then the next one will go on the next attraction space after that. So you seed them.
At this point, Matt is noticing that there are some pre-printed, weak but serviceable attractions already on the board in the gray squares.
All right.
Yeah. So the gray ones that you see there will have some. They'll give you a little bit of stuff. There's no owner, but they'll give you a little bit of stuff. And there's also the red attractions, which would basically be the ones that don't have a coaster on them, are just junky thrill rides. Right now, I don't know that they say anything on them. Maybe they just say
they give you 1 happiness.
Yeah, they give you 1 happiness, it says.
There you go.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move this group right here. So I'm going to put the yellow meeple here, which would give me then $2 because it has the $2 symbol, correct?
Right.
Okay.
But we'll do that after you finish putting the
moving
down.
And then the red piece here I'm putting on this one, so this would garner me 1 happiness. Then.
Wait a second. You had to move, but for the movement, you had to move a group with exactly 2 of the same color.
No, 2.
No.
Just 2.
No, 2 of any color,
2,
not the same color.
It has to be 2 meeples in that section.
Oh,
which
but
in
they're
the beginning
all
of the
2.
game, it's all 2, so
Okay.
we're fine. So now, since I've
Yes.
moved these, though, on your turn, you cannot move these.
So what you're going to do is we'll go one at a time. So yellow scores you because you were the little icon shows the meeple.
Mhm.
So you're going to score the money,
$2 there.
$2. And then what you'll do is move that yellow guy to the path leading to the red attraction. So he leaves there, gets in line for the next area. And then we go to the red guy, and he scores you
1 happiness.
There you go. So that shuffles up. And then he moves to that group with the yellow and the red. So he's in line for the next thing. So you've done some movement. So now that group's got 3. And now we have 2 paths that cannot be chosen by the others at this moment because they do not have 2 guests in those paths. So now you've done that. You draw a tile, and you can choose either stack. And again, like Ken had mentioned earlier, you always know that the costs add up to 7. So you can see the cost of the ones you see, so you'll know kind of how good the one on the other side is, but you cannot flip it and look at it until you take your tile.
Okay. So, oh man, this is a toughie here. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab this one right here. So I grabbed the one that has a cost of 2, gives you a fame of 2, gives you $2 when someone goes on it, and gives 1 happiness.
Look at that. It's a nice little carousel. And the best thing
Just
about it is
camera.
those names we talked about earlier. You might have one that's called like the terrifying drop, and you may choose to put that on your carousel because you just want to really be, not making any sense as a ride designer. But that's okay because it doesn't have to make sense.
Okay.
All right, so your turn is now over. So now we go to Anne, and the first thing you do is play a tile. You can either build an attraction, upgrade your coaster, or take a staff action.
Okay, I am going to copycat Matt a little, and I think I'm going to add to my roller coaster.
Oh, that's a sweet hill right there. By the way, what's your coaster's name, man? The Annihilator? Very good.
Oh,
I can't have it be the Annihilator and have it be Happy Mushroom Land, though.
That's
It
the
could
fun
have been
guy.
the Armageddon Anne.
No, wait, I like Josh's. Say it again.
It's the fun guy.
Because you have the mushroom
Because it's a
theme park.
mushroom.
So this one costs you 4, so reduce your money from 8 down to 4.
Okay.
Then you're going to, whenever someone lands on it, you get a happiness, they get 2 happiness, and you get a fame. So I believe you gentlemen were saying before that when we build the roller coaster, we get the fame right off the bat, or is that whenever someone lands on it?
Whenever somebody rides it.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. So
Okay.
usually with attractions, when people ride them, you won't get fame right away. Not until the very end, and you score it once. But roller coasters, if you manage to get lucky, you can score the fame multiple times.
Okay.
All right, so you've played a tile, and now you have to pick a path that has 2 people on it and send them to the next 2 attractions.
Okay, so I think that I'm going to choose this group down here on the path. And we're doing this one on one and one on the other?
Yes, one will go on the one, and then one will go along the path, and they'll get onto the other attraction or store or whatever it is.
Go. So this looks like a little masquerade party, and this looks like a mud pit.
So I think the mud pit is for 5 to 6 players.
This is 5
You
to 6
know
players
what?
closed.
Oh, it's closed. Okay.
Sometimes. And then you'll go one at a time, and you'll score whatever it is that shows in the meeple, and then you'll slide the guest along to the path leading out of that attraction.
Okay, so in the mud pit, this is $2. So I'm gonna go from $4 to $6. Thank you very much, sir. Have a lovely day. And same thing at the little masquerade hut. That's another $2, so that puts me up to $8 and no happiness because all the money and all the sadness.
Well, you made all your money back.
I did.
That was a good move.
Excellent
there.
return on investment. I'm a very good financial manager. Thank you very much.
Questionable.
That ROI. Unbelievable. All right, Josh. Oh, I'm sorry. And then, Anne, you need to take a new tile from either stack, either the fancy red attraction or that little corkscrewy coaster piece.
The art looks so cool on the attractions that it's kind of messing with me. Like, I'm trying to make smart decisions, but I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. Which I know is a terrible way to make life choices.
Just take the hammers.
I think I'm going
Take
to go
the
with it.
hammers.
I don't even know if it is.
So are we going to endear ourselves or improve our stark terror quotient?
So this is what you got here. Oh, it's one of these guys.
Yeah.
So this will net you $1. It'll net 4 happiness for whoever lands on it, but it'll score you 4 fame when you build it.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
At the end of the game.
Because people are like, oh, it's one of those things. And you become more famous because you have one of those things.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be called, too. I really hope you have an ownership token that says that.
One of those things.
One of those
Let
things.
me tell you, my favorite are the invisible rides, though. I mean, look at that stack and that yellow one coming up. Those invisible rides are really the best.
Oh, it was on the other side of my thing.
All right.
All right, so Josh,
All right.
surveying.
I'm gonna build an attraction. I'm building Neptune. It looks
Yay.
really mad that people threw tires in the ocean. That's my title for this.
Okay. Neptune looks really mad that people threw tires in the ocean.
Yep.
That's a great ride. I like it. So where are you building this, Josh?
I'm gonna build it right next to my roller coaster.
That's a good move right there. So, oh, Josh is gonna rake in the points right here.
So
Oh, I'm liking
we
this.
put this here. Then we're gonna move these guys here. And look at that. It's a blue guy going to a blue ride and
That
guy
gets you
coming to a
nothing.
roller coaster.
So here's the thing. So let's do the water ride first.
Okay.
So that is absolutely right. You own it and you put the person on it. So you get all of the benefits in the bottom.
So
All right.
$2 and 4 happiness. You're having a grand old time right there.
Awesome.
As you pass around the loop, did you take them? I can't
Yeah.
see your thing. I don't know if you took the thing or not, or if you're going to pass and get a fame.
No, he took the thing in the beginning of the game, so he does not. He's down to 4 happiness now.
Yep.
Or up to 4 happiness.
I'm up to
Now,
4
here's
happiness.
the thing. Only thrill seekers will ride roller coasters. Water fans will not. So that blue guy who's on that coaster, he looks at it and goes, no, I don't want to ride this thing. It's too terrifying. And he's just going to slide on down the path by those yellow people.
He doesn't like your ride.
All right.
All right.
And then you can take the invisible ride from that stack, or you could take a little corkscrewy thing from that stack.
Well, invisible ride sounds the best.
Invisible ride it is. Okay. There you
All right.
go.
So now it's the end of this round since you've all gone. The player who would go first in the next round is the one who's on the bottom of the furthest back fame stack. So, like, if you look at the stack right now, all 3 are stacked up. Whoever's on the bottom
Sorry, one
gets to
second.
go first.
So, I'm sorry. That's at the end of the game that he would get that. So the only way that we're getting fame during the game is by the happiness cycling and someone riding our roller coasters. Correct?
That's correct.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's your slow during the game thing, and then at the end there will be a huge infusion of fame when you do final scoring. So we know our first player is Josh. That's you now, right? So you're actually going to get to go first
Yeah.
in the next
But
round.
first, we need to change the card.
Yeah, and then we got to discard the current movement and event rules.
And so our new movement rule is move a group with at least 1 red guest. So we're moving the thrill
you
seekers
go.
today. And the event that we've got is Family Reunion. 1 yellow attraction will score triple the happiness.
That's your invisible yellow ride.
Sweet.
Yes. So if you've got a yellow attraction that usually scores like 4 happiness, you can get 12 happiness out of
Yep.
this round.
Wow.
So what Josh would have been able to do had the movement not happened is put the yellow one right there, put yellow on here, blue on there, had a hell of a turn, but there's no thrill seekers there, so he can't move
That's
them.
all right, because I'm just going to build right over here. And that's going to cost me 4.
Now, I will pause the game and say that's a situation where a performer staff action might come in handy, because you can move a red person to that group and then move from there. So that's one of the reasons why a staff action might be helpful.
Okay.
But
When I
do
say
that.
staff action, sometimes I think I'm saying staff infection.
Wow.
Not right.
Wow. Josh has got 3 scores on this one.
Yeah, so his first one, that is his own, so he's going to get $1 as well as 12 happiness.
Did he put his ownership marker on it?
I need to do that.
So because of that card, the event card, he's going to score 12 happiness from that.
Woo-wee. There's some fame coming now.
I got 3 fame from that.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
you are now
move your
1,
gray marker
2,
3 space.
3.
And he's in the lead.
So
The
he
lead.
moves over here. Then this red
Yeah,
guy,
did he get his dollar? Did he get his money?
Yeah, I got my $1.
this guy's going to get you $2.
Okay, good.
All right, got some more money.
So then you're going to Anne's roller coaster. So Anne is going to get $2. And Josh, you're going to get 1 happiness.
I'm going to get 3 happiness.
Why would you
Plus
get 3
what's on the
Plus-
what's on the tile.
Oh, that's right.
Remember
I'm
the
sorry.
base stuff up in the upper
and
left,
we'll
too.
also get a happiness.
And
Yep.
a fame.
That's
And
correct.
a fame.
So you're going to get 1, 2, 3 happiness there, Josh? Okay.
Not 1, 2, 3 fame. 1, 2, 3
No,
happiness.
3 happiness. So
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Matt,
we're
you
back.
need to put his fame marker back.
All right.
There
And
you go.
then I get to choose a card. I will take the other yellow card, I guess.
Okay.
All right. Nicely done, Josh. You clearly have this
sure.
game figured out. And
Hi.
wowus.
Okay. So first thing to do is to put down one of my tokens. I think that I am going to put down an attraction, and I kind of like my...
Wait, correct. Is it your turn, Anne, or is it my turn?
No, it's from the bottom. Oh, wait. No. It was where they were at the start of the turn.
Oh, okay. It's
Okay.
the,
And
that's,
you were on
that's
top
the
at the
set
start
order?
of the
Yep.
turn.
Okay. So yeah, it is you, Anne.
So I think I'm going to place this attraction. I have to have at least one red person. That's got the group of 3. Yeah, but both of those are yours. I ain't about that life.
But you get stuff too.
Now remember that yellow is going to triple, and that's huge for you as the person who moves. It's not so good for the owner. So if you're able to get to a yellow attraction, even if it's not your own, it can really help you this turn.
So the only yellow attraction currently on the board is this one here. And neither tile in my hand is yellow, so I couldn't even manipulate it that way. And I need to move a red meeple, so the only meeple moving behind this in the next direction is here, so that won't stretch out far
This
enough.
is the point when the whispering voice of Ken says, you know, you have a red, and it's right next to your own roller coaster. If you had a really cool roller coaster, you could score big.
Good score.
You
Big.
see that red meeple
Yeah.
right next to your roller coaster?
Yeah.
Well, if you move that, it's going to land on your own roller coaster, and you're going to get the owner and the rider bonuses. So you probably want to fatten up your roller coaster.
Do I... Oh.
You fat up your roller coaster, or you could do this move over here.
I got lots of money.
So I think the best move for you, Anne, would be doing this one here. You don't get anything from that one, but you can get the blue happiness. You can get the red happiness from the roller coaster, and then you wind up building something for future turns.
But if I move the one red...
Then you
Okay.
have 4 guys there for Matt to play with. Just fair warning when it goes to his turn.
That's a terrible idea.
You don't want the money from your roller coaster, Josh?
Oh, I do. I've got, my roller coaster is going to rid it either way. I don't. If Ann does it or you do it, because I'm assuming you're still going to move that group probably, because that's a really good group to move.
You never know.
I don't know, but
That's right. You don't know.
All right,
Yeah,
See,
Ken.
that's
this is
that's
where
a
the
good one too.
This
You
is
go
where
right
the
on your roller
dirt player
coaster.
would use a performer to move someone else to that group of yellow, blue, and red, and then would move the whole group and would move the red past that roller coaster
Wait,
so that you would not.
say that one more time.
You could use
So
your
let's,
performer
as a
ability.
hypothetical, let's say that you moved another blue to that group right there, so that there was 2 blue, a yellow, and a red.
Mhm.
Then when you choose where those go, you put like a yellow down and then a blue down, and then you put a blue down on the red coaster and then the red on the next one. That way, the red would go past that gray coaster and never ever actually ride it. But that's just a mean move, and Ken always yells at me when I make mean moves.
My roller coaster's not even that good right now, so.
I don't even know if you guys know who I'm
But-
playing this game
But she
with.
hasn't played a tile yet.
No, so there's still a tile to be played.
So, but
And
I would have to toss a
the-
tile
the-
to use that performer action?
that's correct.
Whatever shall she do?
Man, but if I do this, then you're going to go boom, 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 boom. That's a
I'm
sound
in
effect
last
that
place.
That's a technical term right there. Bah, 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 bah.
happens. It is a technical term. Okay, so
And have you looked at the coaster upgrade sides of your tiles?
I have a 5 and a 3. So I'm debating either putting my double loop down because I have $10, and then I
Right.
could move the one there, and that would get me 4 happiness as a rider, 3 from more because I got
Yeah.
it from here too. How much? But Matt's gonna get 4 happiness just from moving here.
You get 8 happiness, 2 points, and $2.
This is analysis paralysis at its finest, ladies and gentlemen.
Does Matt have a yellow though?
Does Matt have a yellow? He's got 2
2
yellows.
yellows.
Okay.
So he's gonna try and use that yellow.
So he would put the yellow there. He would put yellow, blue, red, and then another red. Doesn't really matter.
So
And
what
you
if
get all the
And
points.
what if I put my red here
You put your red there.
and move these guys
You can do that.
instead, and then put a blue one here?
There you go.
I would put the blue there and put the yellow there.
Yeah, that's a better idea.
Okay, so that's what I think I'm gonna do. I think that's the right move for
Alright.
me. Okay.
You put your ownership marker on the red ride and pay for it.
Okay, so I put down my ownership marker on the attraction. The attraction cost $4. It moves me down to $6. I'm going to grab this group of 3 meeples because it has 1 red meeple in it. I'm going to drop the red meeple on the red attraction and just drop down. I'm going to put the blue guy on the water ride, and I'm going to put the yellow guy on Josh's roller coaster.
Brilliantly done.
Yes.
Everyone keeps getting to Josh's coaster going, nope, not interested.
Not good.
Some of those screws over there look real loose. Okay, so
We've
for
heard that before.
We're just directing everyone over to the Trident ride with bad tires.
They're very eco-friendly, our attendees. So for my red meeple on my red attraction, I'm going to get both the rider and the owner because this is my ride. So I get 4 happiness
Now $1.
and $1. So my dollar goes up to 7. My happiness goes to 5, and then he gets off the attraction onto the next line. This gentleman here, you are going to get $2. I will get 4 happiness, which gives me. Oh, okay. So when I get 1, is it 0, 1 on my happiness marker, or do I go from 5 to 1, or do I have to stop on the
Yeah.
plus
Yes.
1 fame?
You go straight to 1,
Okay.
and you get that fame along the way.
Okay, so I'm gonna get 4 happiness, which swings me back around, to the 4, and I get 1 fame because I crossed over. And that one's done. And then on Josh's roller coaster, I hate it, so I just go away.
And now that is a crowded path right there. The 3 yellow and 1 blue that are there after the roller coaster means that it is crowded, and if anyone would move to that path, they will instead skip over to the next path or the attraction that they're leading to. They will not go to that attraction. They will skip to the next attraction.
Everybody's really excited to see the new Invisible ride.
Yeah, they're like, this bend in the path is amazing.
The rock formations over here.
Exactly. All right. So, and you get to draw another card then.
I do.
Which one are you taking?
Oh man, the bumper cars are red too. Oh, the bumper cars. Yes.
Okay. So then it's going to be my turn. I don't know what I want to do here.
I literally took an hour and a half
Yeah, you did.
taking my turn, so I don't understand.
Yeah, I just zoned out.
You could ride Anne's roller coaster.
You could,
Could. I don't really want to, though.
but look how cool it is. It's the fun
It's
guy.
not that cool.
It's got mushrooms.
So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to build myself some more roller coaster here. So this is going to cost me 5, so I'm down to $0. I got myself another double loop. This roller coaster
It's the quad loop.
is just really loopy. Makes
Just-
it loopy. And then I'm going to move this group here.
Yeah.
So this one goes here.
That was
can't
a
move that
surprising move.
Oh, that's right. I can't. That's right. It
You,
doesn't have a
you
red.
can move that
You can
group.
move.
Absolutely, you can move the group.
Yeah,
You
can
just,
move
if
it.
anyone would come to be in that
thought
group,
you
they
had
would
to
skip
move a
that
group with the
whole
red.
area.
Oh.
Yeah, I have to move a group with a red.
Oh, we have to move red.
Yep.
Yes.
That's
yes,
why I had you.
yes.
Do what you did.
Plan
Josh
ruined.
is just looking out for himself.
Yep.
I mean, it worked out for me too, so I'm okay with this life choice. You could ride my roller coaster.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Come ride the fun guy.
You could have the red one start going to your roller coaster.
Also, I'll even put one of those guys you see in the car dealerships.
Wacky waving inflatable.
Big
inflatable
inflatable?
tube man.
Yeah. Would you ride it if I put one of those out in front?
No, not at all. Thank you, though. Let's see what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to move this group here. This group here? No, this group
You don't
here.
want to move that single red over to your roller coaster?
No, I'm going to play the way I want to play. Thank you. So I'm going to move him over here, and then I'm going to move this yellow one over here, or blue one over here, and I'm going to get $2 for it. And so I played my card. I'm going to get a new one.
I got $1. I got $1.
I got $1. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
This is where I have to plead ignorance. I don't know the board, this version of the board well enough to know. I wonder if there's supposed to be some path tiles on top of some of these grays
I don't
to make less spots.
I don't see anything. On
They
the board
don't.
that
They don't
says-
have that version of the board, Chris.
Okay, all right.
Where do these guys in lab coats have secret versions of boards? This makes me.
I don't
Well,
know.
no. What's going on is, unbeknownst to us, but we found out later, they have changed this board so that when there's less than 6 players, some of the gray attractions are eliminated. They're covered up with a path tile that just makes it a longer path.
Makes
Yes.
sense.
So
Yeah,
the loop around the coast, the loop around the park is shorter.
In the Kickstarter, the base game is a 2 to 4 player game to begin with, and the deluxe version actually adds in 2 other coaster boards and 2 other colors, so you can play all the way up to 6 players. So the base game will have the pieces in it to be able to expand later, because down the road you'll be able to buy the expansion to expand it to a 5 to 6 player game. But the base game itself will be geared for 2 to 4 and hopefully 1 to 4, because there's a really fun solo rule set that Ken and I have worked on that I think if we get to a certain stretch goal, we'll unlock some solo play fun.
That'd be cool.
Neat. Okay, so what do I want to do
And
here?
you guys move off.
When we're starting third turn.
Yeah, so they move off and onto the
All
path.
right, we need the new movement rules and the new
Yep.
vet.
So, new movement rule is you have to move a group with at least 1 yellow guest in it.
Ooh.
Oh, so there
And
we
then
go.
the next one is free admission. This round, players earn happiness instead of money, but vendors still provide money.
That's right. So wherever you are with money right now, that's what you're going to have unless you take a vendor.
I'm okay with this.
Okay,
And the person in last place is the first player.
that's me.
So that's Matt.
Okay, so
You can move that group finally.
I don't have enough money to buy anything. No, because I only have $2. I don't have enough money to buy anything. So I'm going to go ahead and use my vendor action then. So the vendor action is still going to get me $5. So I'm going to go up to
Right.
7.
Could you
and,
keep your staph infection away from me?
then
However, you
now I
must
have to
discard
discard
a
a
tile.
card. So I'm going to get rid of.
That's what you look like when you yell at me.
All the time. So I'm going to get rid of this one here. Draw a new card. So I got this. Oh, I got Nessie.
You draw that at the end.
Oh, I draw it at the end. Okay. So I didn't get it now. But I'm going to take that one. Just put it off to the side. So I'm going to move this group. So I'm going to go.
This is 2 to 4 players close. Should that be out? That's the only one I see that says 2 to 4.
Yeah, if you had the tile places, that would have been
There's,
a closed space.
yeah,
that we
there's
found it,
cards
but you've
in front
already
of it.
used it. So
Did we use that one?
Yeah, it's okay.
yes.
Okay.
See the yellow, blue down there in the.
Okay, so
No, maybe not. Okay.
No, I don't think we used that.
No, why don't
Okay.
we close them up? You've got.
The cards in front of you, Matt, I think are
oh, okay. There you go.
used.
We're
So you
doing
do have
construction.
the tile blockers.
We don't have, we have these cards. Okay.
Yep, that's them.
Yep. So the ones that say closed in a 2 to 4 player game, put one of those over that so it doesn't exist as a attraction. Fine.
This top right one, another one.
Yes.
Put the hot dog stand.
I like the hot dog stand. That's good.
All right. I don't think there's any other.
So I picked up these.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go 1,
Mm-hmm.
2,
Okay. Do you need a hand
3.
with reaching?
No, I'm okay. 4. So that will be what I do there. So this one scores me nothing. So he moves along the path onto the construction site. This one is going to garner me 1 happiness. He moves on to that group there, so I'm up to 2 whole happiness. That one's going to move down. He gains me nothing, and then that one would gain me 2 money, but instead is going to gain me 2 happiness instead. Correct?
Right.
Mhm.
So
And
But I
that's because
see what you were doing, Matt. You're being a clever booby.
thank you.
He's building up a group that's going to go to his coaster.
And as it stands right now, there's no yellow in that group, so no one else can move it
All
to
right.
screw up the plan.
So I got this one over here, and that's going to be the end of my turn. So then it's going to pass to Anne.
Mhm.
So your turn.
So it's my turn. And that'll give me the most. Ghostest with the mostest? No, this would. Okay, so the first thing that I am going to do is I am going to lay down a tile.
Oh, that's an expensive coaster part right there.
Yeah.
Fancy coaster.
So I'm going to go
Yeah.
from $7 to $2 because that cost me 5. And then I'm going to move this little guy over here. He just had his hot dog, and now he's in the invisible ride because he needs some time for his food to settle.
Oh, okay.
And that will give you, Matthew, 1.
Nothing.
That's me.
That's Josh.
Oh, that's Josh. That'll give you nothing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And it will give you 1 happiness because you can't get dollars this turn? Yes.
You're happy that he's happy.
No. That was nice.
No, no.
thought.
And
Josh is happy. The guest is happy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Satisfied customer.
That's, yeah. Okay. Weirdo.
My invisible ride.
but how many happiness do you get, Ann?
I get 4. So then it takes me from 4, 1, 2, 3, back up to 3, and I get 1 more fame. I don't want to be touching Josh because that's weird.
Technically,
You
we're
have to be on
of
top of him.
Got to get on top of Josh.
We make stacks in this game.
Now everything's just weird.
All right. So, Anne, you have to draw a tile.
Okay. So my choice is a 2 water ride
That means
or
it's
the
going to be It's going to be a 5 coaster on the underside. Build a sweet coaster.
Yeah, man. That's actually probably.
Yeah, dog.
I heard you like coasters for your coasters.
Toasters for your coasters.
Toasters for your coasters. All right, I'm taking the water ride.
Okay. Was it a cool one?
It's a movie. Oh, it's a swimming movie.
Oh, that's neat.
That's so
What's
neat.
That's a double loop. Oh, I wanted that.
you-
Just all double loops for my coaster. All right, so then Josh, it's your turn now.
All right. I am going to build this. Oh, it's one of those little rocket ship things that go up and down. Little kiddie rides.
I don't think I've ever seen this before. Okay, so where are you building this one?
It's going to go right down here.
Oh, that's like the Dumbo ride at Disney.
Sure.
And that's going
You
to
have to speak in Disney terms for Matt. That's the only thing he knows how to relate to.
It's going to cost me $3, which is fine. And then we're going to move.
What is your cube on? Because it's kind of in between
It's
some
at
stuff
4.
on your mat right there. Okay.
Matt.
Yeah. Oh, he got up. He did it.
He just likes to figure his name into things.
All right. Oh, I need to put my little thing there.
You couldn't square it off in the box?
Why do you make him?
There you go.
All right.
Oh,
so,
Matt has CDO.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna get $1 for that. No, I'm gonna get happiness for that.
Yep.
So I actually get a point of fame.
Go ahead, Ken. Explain the joking for those that didn't get it at home.
Oh, CDO instead of OCD because the letters are in alphabetical order, as they should be.
I'm gonna get another fame because I get 5 happiness from that,
Correct.
Nice.
and then I get 2 more happiness from the next one and 2 more from the next one.
Okay.
I mean, if you don't have happiness in real life, at least you have it in this game.
You gotta be happy somewhere. Make happiness points count, right?
And now we're on round 4.
Okay. Round 4.
All right, so clear the cards. Let's see what this round's all about.
This round is all about movement of groups with. Oh, move a group with exactly 3 guests of any color. So groups of 3 is what you have to move here.
Oh, it's a little typo.
Okay, and then the next one, is reconstruction. You may deconstruct other players' attractions this round. Pay the owner the price shown on the tile.
Yes. So in the current rule set, that's also something that can happen when every single space on the board is taken by attractions. You can start to break down other people's rides and build your own. But this round, if you really want to take down someone's attraction, you can.
Matt doesn't have any attractions out for me.
You're
to
pointing at
construct.
something.
I
Josh.
never grabbed the tile.
Okay.
Can you give me the?
The water ride?
No, I want the coaster.
Okay.
Oh, it's another invisible ride.
So it is my turn because I am still in last place.
You don't have much fame there, Matt.
No, that's fine.
He likes to, lean back and give
I like
other
to
people.
stay under the radar.
Yeah.
He's going to get that
You move
coaster
your
ridden.
yellow off that.
Okay, so then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to build another coaster here. So this one's going to go down here for 4, so I'm going to go down to 3. And then I'm going to move that group there.
Which one?
This one.
You can put the blue one on your coaster.
Does that
Yeah, so I'll put this here, put the red one on my coaster, and this blue one over here.
Nice.
That's not the one that's colorblind. Josh is colorblind. You
So-
said you were going to put the blue one on your ghost coaster.
I'll move this guy forward, so that's going to gain me $2, so I'm up to 5. Then I'm on my coaster here, so I'm going to get,
Oh, boy.
let's see, $2.
There's no other groups of 3. Oh, no, there's not.
1, 2.
There's a group of 3 right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to go on his coaster.
None of them are red, so it doesn't matter.
So that
Oh.
gained me $2 there. So then I'm also going to get 1 base happiness plus 4 happiness for the first tile, so that's 5, plus another 4 for the next tile, so that's 9, plus another 3 for the next tile, so that's 12. So that's going to get me 12 happiness. So 1. Okay, so I get 2 fame for that, or 3 fame for that.
And you get 3 fame for a coaster.
And I get 3 additional fame for the coaster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Do you feel better now on the inside?
Well, not in last place anymore, are you, Matt?
That's just how I was setting things up. Okay. And it's
All
your turn.
right.
Okay.
Oh, I need to take a tile. What do I want to do? Okay, I'll take this one.
Okay, so I can discard a tile to use a vendor action?
Yes.
That'll get you $5.
And then with the performer action, I can move anybody anywhere?
Correct. But you can
No,
only use
you can
one.
use one or the
action a
other.
turn.
Right. So I want to discard this one.
The double loop.
Yes.
Why would you ever discard the double loop?
I want to use a performer
It's
action.
like salt in the wound.
And I want to move this guy
Mm-hmm.
here.
Nice.
Very nice.
And then I'm going to put this one here, and this one here, and this one here.
Okay. So then this bad boy will get you $2.
Okay, so we're going to go from 2 to 4.
That one will get you $2 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 happiness.
What about these 2 base
I
dollars?
already counted it.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what?
You only get $2 from it.
I don't get the $2
No,
from here.
it's just
oh,
the
that's
copy of
here.
it.
Okay, $2, and then you said 8 happiness.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So you get 2 fame.
Okay.
You're gonna get another 2 fame.
You go back on top of Josh.
I hate you.
You get 2 fame from the coasters.
1, 2.
No,
oh
fame.
no. Oh no.
Yep,
Okay.
2 fame. So you jump to first place.
Okay.
And so then he moves off there. And then your final guy is like, I don't like thrill rides. I like family rides. And goes and hangs out with this one right here.
And that's like little Jimmy, and Mommy said, "Get off that ride! It's one of those rides."
It's too fast. You're gonna hurt yourself.
Nice.
All right, Josh.
You don't have very many choices here, Josh.
I mean, it's kind of true. But I'm gonna do what Ann did. I'm gonna discard a double loop.
Okay. Why the double loop?
Just
Everyone
to
loves
just
the
to
double
to
loop.
spite you.
Just and you want to grab one new tile? By the way.
Oh.
Invisible water ride.
Yeah.
Terrors from the deep.
Ooh, that's a cool one.
What?
It's really a shark in the bottom.
Dun, dun.
And I get to move 1 meeple anywhere
If you do, yeah, performer.
for a performer.
A performer.
Now, Josh, let me suggest a different action for you.
Okay.
Instead of the performer, put the mess just before the blue ride that has the yellow and red on it. Use the janitor.
Use the janitor, put a mess here.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah.
And now the red guy and the yellow guy will move to the next 2 paths.
Okay.
Okay?
You still have to move.
And then
group
so
3,
you
though.
can drop the red guy in between the 2 blues and the yellow just past it, and then you'll have a set of 3 right before your coaster.
Okay. Or I could also move this blue guy here, and then do blue water
Yep.
ride,
Yep.
red here, and then yellow.
You could do that with the performer. Yes, that's also a brilliant move.
Let's not use the word Josh and brilliant in the same sentence because that will give him an ego, and you have not seen how maniacal he gets with an ego.
So I get $2, so I'm at the
It's like-
6
And 4 happiness.
and 4 happiness.
Don't feed him after midnight.
So I get a fame,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna get
$2 and 1
$2.
happiness.
and 1 happiness.
But no fame. Your
No
coaster
fame.
stinks.
Yeah, I have a stinky coaster. How much is that? The invisible water ride?
It's 2.
Let's take that.
So it's going to have a 5 coaster on the back.
Double loop, double loop, double loop.
Double loop.
No,
Oh,
it's
no double loop.
Still
something.
a cool one.
Okay.
We're
so,
on the next round.
Next
We're
round.
5 now?
Yeah, round 5. So, movement. Our next movement is group of 1. 1 is the
Aw,
loneliest me.
1 is the loneliest number that'll ever ride a thrill ride.
And then meet and greet. At the start of your turn, swap all guests on 1 non-empty space with all guests on a different non-empty space. Okay. Cool.
So each of you is going to get to massively change
Where did I put the movement?
the
here?
park layout.
Okay, so it is my turn because I said so. Because I'm last place.
But you and Josh are
Bottom of the left.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and at the start of my turn, I get to
That's it.
swap 2 groups.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do here is
Oh, and it's a group of 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
so what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap this group here with this group here.
Oh,
So you can.
that guy loved that coaster so much.
So I'm going to then go ahead and I'm going to build the last section of my coaster. So it's going to cost me 4. Go down here. And then this guy's going to be like, this roller coaster was so good. I have to go on it again. Oh my God, they made improvements. This is the greatest ride in the history of theme parks.
Did
They
he
made
tweet about
improvements in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was real quick.
I'm sure it's real safe.
Oh yeah, safety's not a concern here. So I'm going to gain 2 money. 1, 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 3, 7, 10, 15 happiness.
This guy
So-
definitely did this on a GoPro.
1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to gain 3 fame. I'm going to live forever. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to gain an additional 4 fame on top of that. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's because he streamed it live on Twitch.
That's right.
And then I'm going to draw a new tile. So I'm
You
going
guys need to pay attention when the solo rules, and I say when, not if, when the solo rules get unlocked, it very much is twitchy. It's very twisty what happens with the solo rules because there is live streaming that happens. So definitely be watching for that when that happens. It's a lot of fun.
Hey, what's Ann gonna do?
Well, it was at the start of the turn, right? So it's actually
Oh, I'm
Josh's
sorry.
turn
Yes,
then.
so it's
Yeah, my
Josh's
turn.
turn.
So I get to move 2 groups.
Yep, you can swap 2 groups. So what you could do is you can swap this group with that group back there, and then you could ride my coaster.
I don't want to ride your coaster, but I will switch that group with this single red guy over here.
This group here?
No,
Oh, this group.
the group before.
Oh, that makes sense. Look at that. That's a good move, Josh. You're so
So
brilliant.
that's there for later.
For Ann to use on her turn and get a whole lot of points.
Depends what happens. So I have to move a single meeple.
No, first you have to
Oh,
play
I
a tile.
have to build a card, but then I'm gonna move a single meeple,
Or you can do an action.
or I could do an action.
Which you know what you can do, Josh? You can put a throw up right here and then force them to go past her ride so she doesn't get the points for it on her turn. He did it to me, so I have to like pass it down the line.
I don't think that that's how this friendship works. I don't.
Oh, you think we're friends?
That's funny. Joke's on you. Josh's thinking face.
You can see the steam coming out of his ears. Looks like bunny ears.
So what's the actions? I have the performer, I have the custodian,
Janitor.
the janitor, and the vendor.
Custodian is.
Entertainer.
He's
And
got
the vendor.
high class.
Vendor's
Oh,
$5.
yeah, I'm sorry, the vendor, yeah.
Okay.
Vendor's $5 straight. Which won't benefit you because the board, you have $8.
Yeah.
The board caps out at 10. So anything beyond that, you just light it on fire.
Yeah, that sounds like me. Just money, money, money. Let's build this blue ride for $2. All the way in the bottom,
Here or here?
right there.
Here?
Yeah, that guy's gonna go ride it.
Okay.
The invisible blue ride. He's just going for a swim.
Okay, so you're going to get $3. So right there, you make your money back.
Yep.
And you gain 3 happiness.
And he needs to own it.
And I need to own it.
There you go.
You got to own it, Josh.
And then what's my options over there? There's a red one.
There's a red one for a cost of 4 and a coaster for a cost of 3. The red one gives you 5 happiness.
I'll take the coaster.
Okay. So then it's going to
it's a
be
ferry.
the next round. So we're going to do some new movement tokens.
Can I have my turn? Just
Oh,
wondering if
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
all right
Sorry,
with you.
I got used to the order.
See, matsplain, mansplain, skip right over.
I tell you what, though, Ann, you snooze, you lose. You know, you had almost 4 seconds after that last turn. You could have finished your turn.
You got a
I
point
should have
there,
just
Chris.
punched him.
I'm macking you with the blue guy off of the spot.
I probably could.
Please.
It's may you move it.
I don't know. Can you?
I don't know, can I?
It's ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm happy. Okay, so I'm gonna build. I'm gonna spend 5 buckaroos to build my hyperloop.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, you're going to go ride your coaster.
Brr. That's the noise he made when he got in line.
Bam!
So I get 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 happiness.
Okay.
Okay. So it gives me 1 fame. Don't touch me, you got cooties. And then I get 2 buckaroos.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get 1, 2, 3 happiness for this side.
Fame.
No, this one. 1,
Oh,
2, 3.
I didn't know you did it separately.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, because that's a whole lot of math to do at once. Which gave me 1 more happiness, and then I get 3 more fame because my coaster is awesome. 1, 2,
Not as good as the roller coaster, but you know.
3.
And then your red guy's going to come off.
Yeah.
He's going to skip that area because there's 4 there.
Go here.
You can go to there you go. Perfect.
You only have 1 double loop. I have 2. Means I'm twice as good.
I don't know if that's how that works.
But there's an
oh,
argument to be made that hers is a more varied coaster.
Thank you. There's more twists and turns and surprises, Matthew.
No,
Seriously.
because I have twists and turns here.
These are. What is that?
It's a twist and turn.
What is? There's no twisting.
Yeah.
Twisting is circular.
No.
Do you even know?
No.
Do you
that's not
even
true.
coaster?
Have you not chubby
Do
checked?
you even
All right.
coaster, bro?
Do you even? Okay, the next event is.
Oh, the next movement
And-
is
Do
move
Do you
a
want to
group
ride a
with
coaster?
exactly 3 of any color. So groups of 3 again.
Oh.
And then the last one is double money. Your attractions get you double the money.
Oh.
And so, Josh, you're in last place, so you go first.
Yep. And there's no groups of 3 on the board.
Nope. However, you can use the
Perform.
vomit action or the entertainer, the janitor or the entertainer.
Custodian?
Janitor.
The janitor or the performer? Mr. Mango Head has been neglected.
Hey guys, I'm Mr. Mango Head. Thanks for
right.
coming to our park today. Come ride my shanty right over here. I promise it's safe.
Talk to me about your mom's mango tree.
It's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Are we gonna get mangoes this year?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, next year technically.
I suppose.
Guess
I
I'll
think
do-
he mangoed that accent.
I think I'll do a performer action, so I'm gonna toss this.
Okay. No
I
more
want to build
invisible ride.
stuff,
That's
but
passing. Not tossing.
I'm gonna take one of these yellow guys,
Mhm.
and I get to move them wherever I want.
Correct.
So he's gonna run all over there.
Okay.
I'm gonna do red, blue, yellow.
Okay. So, Anne, you're gonna get $1, and Josh, you're gonna get
She's
4
gonna get
happiness.
$2, isn't she?
Yeah, double money. And then Josh, you get 4 happiness. Josh, you're gonna get $4 and 4 happiness. And then nothing.
I got 2 points, 2 fame,
Okay.
and I'm at max money.
Do you want a medal?
I have all this money. I don't know what to do with it. I just threw some of it out. I lit it on fire.
So what would you like? Would you like the red ride for cost of 4 or the coaster for cost of 6?
I want the cost of 6 coaster.
Oh.
I have all this money to burn. I gotta burn it somewhere.
Oh, what's on the backside? Oh, a little baby train car ride.
I got a hayride. That's awesome. So that means that it's my turn,
Yep.
Mhm.
and Josh has only left me with 1 group of 3.
That does nothing.
That does nothing. So you're a jerk.
I mean, you could build something there.
And then what?
Do you have a blue ride?
Yeah, she does. You can get the points for it, Anne. So it would cost you $3 to make, but you would net $4 from it.
And you get 4 whole happiness.
What round is this?
Not the last round.
6, I think.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So 1.
Did you pay for that ride? Did you put your ownership marker on it?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
She's slow to open up the checkbook.
What's the name of your ride? Your invisible pool ride or whatever it is.
Jaws.
Okay.
It's not
called
an
Josh?
invisible pool ride. There's a great white shark under the water.
Okay.
And the object of this ride is to go in the water and get out before the shark eats you.
Okay.
It's a
Sounds-
thrill
sounds
ride.
like
I mean,
a-
it doesn't. It's
Yeah, it sounds like a real thriller. Okay, so you get nothing for this one. You're gonna get $4 and 4 happiness for this one,
Thank you.
and then you're gonna get 1 happiness for that one.
Which gives me 1.
Or I'm sorry, this one has a red border. Does that mean only thrill ride enthusiasts can use it?
No, it means
Yes,
it's a coaster
that's-
gateway. Oh, you really?
The red one that's there basically is a junky old thrill ride that red people will ride.
So you don't get it.
Okay, well, I didn't take
It's called the
anything.
Rust. It's called the Rustomatic. It's very exciting.
Ooh. Anne, which would you like? There's a double loop for you right there. You can have your coaster be as good as mine then, if you get the double loop.
I'll take the 4 one.
Lame.
Your face is lame.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yes, I'm happy with this life choice.
So Matt has 2 groups he goes now.
I do. That's very true. So I can't build a normal ride there. That's only for coasters, correct?
No, you can build an attraction. It doesn't have to be a red attraction.
Oh, really?
It's an empty thrill ride. But it's a space where an attraction can be placed of any color.
You should move this group and put the blue one on here.
I could. You'd get $4.
I said should, not would you?
Oh, I'm thinking of what I want to do right now.
Oh, we're gonna be here forever.
So could do that, which is reasonable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build. Let's see, which one am I going to build? Sure, I'll build this guy here. So this is going to cost me $4. So I'm going to go down to 1.
I've just been notified that I may have made an error.
Uh-oh.
Chris, what's the word on the
yeah.
pre-printed red attractions?
Yeah, red attractions you can't build over.
Oh, I'm
okay.
sorry. I was wrong.
That's fine.
You cannot build on those.
Ruins my strategy. Thanks, Ken.
I abase myself.
So
How many push-ups would you like?
1.5.
But you have to hold the half one.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
So I'm going to move this group here. So yellow guy here.
Wait, that's not the group you were supposed to move.
I don't want to move that one. Yellow guy here. And then a blue guy here.
Whose ride is that? There's no ownership marker. So I can put my marker on it?
If you were fast enough, you could have. But you didn't. So this one here is going to net me nothing because he doesn't like thrill rides. He's a family man. And can you help me out there and move that one south? So, Josh, you're going to get $2 from that one.
I'm letting $2 on fire.
Yep. And then I'm going to get 5 happiness from that one. So I circle the board. I get 1. And then, let's see. Then the blue one goes. I'm going to gain $4 from it because I get double money. So
Money, money, money.
And 2 happiness.
And 2 happiness. Okay. Cool.
Cool. Okay, so now it's the next round?
Queso's cheese. No, I have to get a thing first. So I'm going to grab this bad boy right here.
A double loop?
I can't build it. My coaster's already perfect.
Man.
Hey, you can always replace your own pieces of your coaster at no additional cost to you.
That's true. So then...
Well, you still have to... You pay the difference.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
it's just the difference.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
No, well, you pay for the new one and get rid of the old one. That's all.
Right.
So
So
our
if
new
they're both
movement
5, then...
group has to have a
Right, so
yellow.
we've got a yellow again.
And then the event is Hot Day. 1 blue attraction will score triple happiness.
Oh, there are some blue attractions out there.
Are you feeling blue?
Are you feeling blue? It's a hot day.
And so,
Josh.
in last, it's up to you, buddy.
All right, up to me. I'm gonna actually upgrade my coaster for once. I'm gonna put in this cool loopty thingy. Spend $6 on it,
Okay.
He's very upset about that. How
Oh.
angry it is.
and then I have to move a group with at least a yellow in it.
That is correct.
And blue, triple happiness.
Blue is triple happiness.
So this blue's gonna go check out your water park,
That's what I
your Jaws ride. Red's gonna go over here and just kind of chill out this Rust-Oleum, and then yellow's gonna go down there.
Oh,
that was a very good
nice
move.
move.
So Anne, you're gonna get $2
Thank
for
you.
blue. I'm gonna get 12 happiness.
Yeah.
All right, so that's gonna be 2 fame for me. And can you, I got it. Next up, I'm gonna get 1 happiness from the red guy, and then I'm gonna get 5 from that. And then how many dollars is that, Matt? I can't see.
$1.
$1. Okay. It's just a group of yellows. All the family people got
What's up?
together.
Right.
It's a family outing.
This is the Zagrunnik family reunion. We do this every 7 years.
They have matching T-shirts, right?
Oh, of course.
That's right.
Of course.
They're all in the same shade of puce.
Puce. Ugh.
Taupe. They have taupe shirts.
Mauve.
But they're really cool. They're dope taupe shirts.
Oh, Be a bunch of dorks wearing purple. Can you imagine?
And they're made of twine. They're rope dope 12 shirts.
And Matt, what are my options for coaster pieces over there?
It's a 4 cost. That's happiness for the owner and 2 for the rider.
And what's the other available tile? The red one.
It's not a coaster.
It's the Viking boat.
Okay.
Swinging
The
ship.
swinging
cost?
ship.
What's
3.
the cost?
You know, you have glasses that you could wear.
Yeah. They're in my car and way too far.
That rhymed.
It's a 2 cost. It's a 3 fame at the end of the game.
You're not supposed to look at the other side.
I'm picking it up. This is what I'm taking. I'm allowed to look at it now.
I'm gonna fight you.
And where are you going?
I don't know, because
Just
Josh
going for
took such a
picnic.
great turn.
You can move all 4 of those.
Yeah,
But then
that's real
all
handy.
of Matt, yeah, it would do nothing. No, it wouldn't do nothing because I'd get the $2 from the gray piece, but that doesn't make me happy on the inside.
If it makes you happy, it can't be that bad.
Bad. No, I'm gonna move this group.
You want to build your tile first or do something?
Oh, yeah.
No, she doesn't. Don't tell her that.
Just not gonna do anything.
I'm
Just move people around the board.
not. I'm gonna add this last piece to my coaster.
Okay.
Oh, you don't want to put the red there so you get
6
score
cost
off of it?
There you go.
No. Okay, so I'm going to put the yellow guy there, the blue guy here.
Just line up a guy for Matt to put on his coaster.
Why?
Let me know.
He just has to be miserable all the time. That's just how it is.
Salty. I would have won if only. Okay, so for the yellow guy, he's gonna have to skip because that's a crowded space. So
I get $1.
you get $1 and I get 5 happiness. So that gives me another fame. And he's gonna skip, so he's gonna go into this pathway. And then from this one, I get triple happiness.
Yep.
So I get 6
Is
happiness.
that, I can't see because it's cut off. Is the path leading to blue crowded?
Yes.
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 So no one can go to that tile.
Oh.
Yeah, because there's a huge line waiting to get on blue right there. Sorry, I couldn't see that. Otherwise, I would have flagged it up before you got to this point. But
Okay.
the blue person actually couldn't even go to that one because what that path leading up there being crowded does is it blocks that path and the attraction that it leads to.
Oh.
But that would make you skip, and then you could technically put a red guy on Matt's ride.
It's true.
And then he won't get all the points for it.
I don't know if that's really what I want, though, Joshua.
You really,
It's that,
really
or you move that 1 yellow guy, or you move the 4 yellow guys.
For no points.
Look at the bottom right. There's the invisible water shark avoidance ride.
You need yellow to move.
Oh, he has to move yellow. Ooh.
But so I placed a tile, but I could.
Don't forget, Anne, that you could use instead of placing your coaster, if you want to take that back, you could use like a entertainer action to move one of those yellows somewhere else on the board.
Or you could put a mess where the red, blue, and yellow are,
Oh, yeah.
and you'd have to move people along past, and you could push that red person past the coaster.
Well, if you move the yellow here, you could just move the red one past this coaster, and just play a yellow on it.
This doesn't help me.
If
these
you
are
want
a
to play
lot of
vindictive without helping yourself, you
Right.
can do that.
Okay, so I'm going to discard this card, this tile,
Okay.
and I am going to move this yellow guy into this grouping here. Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm going to move my yellow guy there, my blue guy there, and the red guy here.
That's a good move, Anne.
Thanks. So then,
Wait, no, it's not.
why?
Because that's Josh's. You're going to give him a lot of money.
$3.
$3.
Oh, jeez.
I'm kidding. That's fine.
I've been
So
burning cash.
I get $2.
Yep, you get $2 there. So he goes out of the way. You're going to get 12 happiness. I'm sorry, 9 happiness. Triple happiness.
Okay, so
Queso's cheese. And then you're going to get 1 happiness from this one over here.
oh no, not fame, happiness. Okay, so that'll move me to 2, and that's it.
Cool.
I'm happy with that life choice. Okay.
This is an interesting one here. And don't forget, you got to get a tile.
Oh, I'll take this one. Thanks.
So,
Buttons.
Buttons.
So button.
A needle pulling thread.
Fa.
A note to follow. So
T.
drink with jam and bread.
Yeah, there you go.
That will take us to Matt's turn.
That was good.
Perfect. See, now I've got the analysis paralysis.
I like it. I like it very much.
Just move the group of yellow.
Note, include sand timer because of Matt.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to actually use a...
I like that game designers add things like sand timers for you, but game designers add things like more cubes for me because I murdered you so badly.
Okay, so I'm going to use the
Cheese.
entertainer action to go over here. So then I'm going to go here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go here.
That's a lot of happiness.
And then I'm going to go here.
Yep.
So this will...
Almost like you're trying to get that person close to the coaster.
Josh, you get $1.
Okay.
I get 5 happiness. So loop around.
Get
fame. I'm going to live forever. Then here, I'm going to get $2. Boop, boop.
Oh.
What? You want to question my move?
Yes, he does.
I thought that was Anne's tile.
I'm going to get 6 happiness. Unfortunately, it's not more. But that gives me another fame. And then this one here is going to get me $2. Boop, boop. And that's the end of my turn.
All right.
That's the end of the round.
Next round, Matthew?
Next round. So let's move some stuff.
Oh, we're in the nitty gritty here, right? Towards the end.
There's 2 cards left in the event deck.
Let's see what happens.
So move a group with exactly 2 guests of any color. So it's groups of 2 now. And then clever marketing. Players may trade $3 for a fame or a fame for $3.
Can we do that multiple times?
I don't.
That's a good question. Originally, the answer is yes. That's how we originally designed it. I'm not sure if they've come up with a different idea in play testing.
Okay. Because I do have lots of money.
I have just as much money as you. Get off your high horse.
I've been burning money.
Anne has more money than you.
Well, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I say for the purposes of this game, we go back to the original rules because I haven't heard anything different from Maple. So yes, do as many times as you're able. It's $3 for a fame, right?
Yep. I'm gonna buy 1 fame.
Yeah.
Okay. It's fine. I got it.
All right. I'm gonna spend $5 to upgrade my coaster,
Okay.
and then
Oh,
Oh,
And it's
you could drop
2
yourself on your coaster
people.
right there.
two. This guy
Look at
doesn't
that.
take
They can
water.
ride it. They're like, this coaster's actually good now?
Yeah, me too. I've done something to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. So I can get 2 fame, 4 fame.
4 fame. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jumps him into first place.
And your $2.
And I got my $2.
That's unacceptable.
All right. And you grabbed your piece.
And I get a tile. What's the cost on that roller coaster?
Use your eyes.
Is it a 4?
It's a
4.
4. Yes.
Both of the costs shown are 4.
Give me the red one.
Okay. So Anne, your turn. Whatever will you do?
Something really creative.
Are you spending money for fame?
So we have how many more? We've got 1 more event. So that's event's going to be that it's the last round, right?
Correct.
That's gonna be, we know that the next round's going to be the last round. Of the
So
game.
we have 1 more round.
Yes.
Okay, so
This
then
round,
I'm going to need that to be
Need like dough?
4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's fine. I'm going to buy 2 fame.
Okay.
I am going to trade in this tile.
Okay.
The movement is move a group with exactly 2 guests.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt here. I just realized that when I did my entertainer action last time, I didn't trade a tile in.
Okay.
So I'm just going to do that now to make
Okay.
up for it.
Okay.
Shunned.
I know.
Shame.
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 Sorry. Sure, I'll do that.
Okay, so Anne's using her entertainer action too.
I am. Oh man. Where are you,
Move the
Matt?
red one that's about to go on that.
Look, I was thinking about that, but the thing is that I want to get the money from this
Introducing
tile.
Mr. Mango Head's new friend, Mrs. Papaya Head.
Hey, you.
It's very deep voice for Mrs. Papaya Head.
Papayas have naturally deep vocal cords.
It's an accident we don't like to talk about.
You don't know what papaya sounds like.
This is very true. This is very true. Okay, well.
Sounds like cultural insensitivity to me.
I'm gonna move this one. What?
That's what he said.
You could have moved the red, blue, and hit both of those for a bigger profit. It's up to you.
Okay, wait. Say that again.
If you move the blue here
Yeah.
and did that, then you could do this and get a bigger profit.
He wants you to ride his coasters.
I would
Yeah,
get
and
one
he would get
happiness.
1, 4,
Oh.
7, 8. 8 happiness.
Give him 2 fame, 3 fame. You don't want to give him 3 fame.
I really
That
hate playing
non-zero
games
sum?
sitting in between you two. You are pretty much the
Play
worst
into
people.
his trap.
All right, that's fine. It'll be fine.
And you prevent me from playing onto my own coaster next turn.
No, it doesn't, Joshua. You'll find a sneaky way to manipulate everything. You always do. Okay, how much happiness do I get from this ride?
8.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I still only got 1.
I'm gonna get 3 fame.
I'm very happy for you. Okay, and then this one I get 4.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You get 4 fame?
No, she got 4 happiness. How much?
1.
Did you get 1?
What are you
fame?
moving Josh so far for?
Because I got 3 fame for
I
you
told
riding my
you.
coaster.
Told you we were going to give him 3 fame.
And then I get $2.
Was it worth it?
Yes, it was.
What did it cost?
My soul.
Everything.
And since I don't have one, it was free.
Okay, so you need to take a card.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to take, I don't even care.
I shot the sheriff.
But it didn't shoot the deputy, so it's okay.
That's not quite how the lyrics go. It's close, but it's
So
not
it was morally
quite.
acceptable.
Not quite. Okay, so it's my turn.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to exchange all of my money for 3 fame. Because I think that's a brilliant move.
Brilliant.
So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Right there. And then... What am I going to do? Trying to think of what would be the best option here. Seeing stuff around. Nothing's too crazy going on. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this blue guy right here. And I'm going to move him over here.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
And discard one of my cards. And draw a new one.
Did you put Mr. Mango Head or Miss Papaya Head there?
Actually, their child. He's actually a cabbage, which is really weird.
Is that Kitty Kiwi?
Oh, Kitty Kiwi.
It's the Cabbage Patch Kid.
Oh, seriously?
They actually had twins. It's
I
both
was-
of them. So I'm going to move them right here.
Am
and
I the only one who saw that? I don't know.
Yes, and it was beautiful. I'm really happy that you did.
So I'm going to gain myself $2. 1, 2. I'm going to gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 10, 15 happiness. So 1, 2.
You know that Cabbage Patch Kid grew up to be the custodian for the park? He's now the Garbage Pail Kid.
I don't get it.
Garbage Pail Pal.
Then I'm going to gain 4 additional fame for that. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ooh.
Okay. And that is going to be the end of my turn.
All right.
That's the end of the round.
So that's the end of the round.
Move
We
your
get
people up. Your contestants.
We
looks
have
like
one round
Yes,
to take
move the
that
people.
down.
you guys
Move
have
the people off of the tiles
Yep.
to the path following it.
you have to remember though, Ann, I have 1 attraction built.
That's right. So you guys will get an infusion of fame at the end, whereas he will not.
Why do you look so confused?
And
Move a group with at least one blue guest. Okay.
Blue.
And then
Yeah.
I
we've
wonder what
got
the event is.
last round. This is the last round. Pass the first player marker to the person who is first on the fame track. Oh, okay.
So Matt's gonna be first.
Look at that. I was not expecting that. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the do. I'm going to do the entertainer action. Do that. I'll just take one of these. Doesn't really matter at this point. And I'm going to move this red one over here.
saw that coming.
And then I'm going to put him here. I'm going to put the red guy on that. This guy has ridden the roller coaster, I think, 5 times in this game. He loves it. He's my biggest fan. I make
He's
all
the only guy that's wrote it, though.
Oh, he's the only guy that's wrote it. He's like the reviewer that's giving me like the primo reviews. So $2 more for that. That's
Sneaking back on with his fast pass.
another 15. So that's 3 more, 2, 3. And then another 4 on top of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
He's going in the exit and telling the guy running the ride that he forgot his hat.
You can do that? You can do that?
So is turn order completely reversed, or just Matt goes first for the last round?
It's clockwise from the mat from the first player.
From the mat. I want that to be the rule.
Ann?
From the mat.
From the mat. Matthew.
So you know what you could do, Ann?
What, Matt?
You can move one of the red
Shut up.
characters here.
I could.
But then you would get a bunch of
No.
happiness too.
Stop talking.
No, Ann, you would get 3,
Uh-huh.
6,
How much
9,
would you get?
11.
Yeah.
And Matt would get like
A
5
bajillion.
points.
I would get 5 points, but you would get a lot of happiness.
But think
And
about it.
happiness is really what you want here.
Is it really, though?
I think that would be the best option for you on the board, is what I'm thinking.
I don't know if that's necessarily true.
I think it actually is.
I actually don't think that it is.
That whistling sound is definitely the primo thing.
Do I move the blue back here?
It's an option.
Why would you do that?
What do you build? You build in? You
Oh,
toss in?
What do you have? What's your actual attractions?
that's my yellow and yellow.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I'm built. Oh, damn.
Because another option, Ann,
Sam.
you can build here, or you can go here, and you'd get $2 for that one, and then the blue guy would go on this here. But then Josh gets a group of 3 blues to play around with.
Now,
And what is the fame value of the 2 tiles that you have?
That's
1
true.
for my coaster. Both have 1.
No, you want the other side.
The
The attraction.
Well, on the
oh, a
attraction
2
side.
and a 1.
So if you build a 2, you'll get 2 fame points at the end of the game, even if you don't use it.
Yeah, money's not that important at the end.
So if I put it down on my coaster, since nobody's going to ride it, then the 1 fame cost on the other end really isn't going to help me.
Nope.
That's okay. That's a good idea.
yeah, real estate on the board is helpful at the end.
There's no group with a yellow and a blue. So, but just having it on the board is helpful.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll put that one there.
Okay, don't forget to spend your money. Claim ownership.
That's fine. Okay. 6 to a 4. There's my ownership tile. I'll take these people here. Go! There! Okay, so I get nothing for the yellow.
Right.
And for that one, I get 3 happiness.
And $3.
I get $3.
2,
Oh.
3. And I get 1 fame. Because I've circled around.
You would have gotten more if you did the other thing I said.
I'm gonna murder you.
It's okay.
I'm gonna spend 4. We're gonna build this. Let's put it in front of the red guys,
Okay.
and then I will
Move this group of 3.
Yeah, move the group of 3.
1, 2, 3. So
Make sure you spend your money. Put your ownership marker on that blue.
Give me your ownership marker. So that one gets you nothing. This guy's going to get you $1 and 5 happiness.
So that's going to give me fam.
Okay. And then this one's going to get you $2.
$1 worth anything at the end?
Only if you're tied.
Okay.
Money and happiness together are the tiebreaker.
Okay. So now,
That's the end.
Josh,
Yep.
look at the tiles on the board with your ownership markers and add up the fame points on them.
Okay, so Josh, you've got. Let's
3.
just take them off the board here. It doesn't really matter, right?
Well, just don't take them off yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Just add them up.
So you've got 3.
That doesn't have
That's
any.
nothing.
That's
4
7,
plus 3
10,
plus 1
11,
plus 2.
13.
You're going to get plus
Oh,
13.
you get 13 fame.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Now, how does he have any minus on his coaster board?
I have minus 3.
2, 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Anne, your white pieces.
You've got plus 4, plus
6,
2, plus 2,
8.
8. 1, 2, 3,
Minus
4, 5,
1.
6, 7, 8. Minus 1. Okay. I've got
Okay.
a grand total of, what's that one, 4?
Yep.
4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I've got, my coaster is complete. I told you I had the best coaster. I don't know why you even argued with me on that.
You're so
Well, you got that guy to lie about 53 times, so.
All right. So is there anything else, guys?
So that's it.
That's how you play the game.
Yeah, if it were a tie, you would add up your money and happiness, and then whoever had the most of those would be the tiebreaker. But yeah, that is the game.
Very cool. So this means
I win.
that you
Matt, how many
deserve
points
to
did
be
you
an
have?
engineer.
I had 7 points.
Yay!
No, so
37.
it caps out at 30. So yeah, I had 37 points.
Okay.
So guys, I'm curious, what's the average score that you see in your play testing?
This is pretty average. It's usually somewhere between around 30 or 40 is pretty normal for where you finish.
You're on the high end of average.
Yeah, usually people get, and it depends, because there's some games where people just don't get their coasters ridden because pepping on each other's throats. So sometimes it can, it'll stay in the mid 20s. But we've also seen ones that jump up all the way up into like the upper 40s and up to, into the 50s, by people who kind of stay out of each other's way. So this is a pretty distribution of scores at the end.
Fantastic. All right, so I'm going to switch us over to the main cam
Okay.
now. So, gentlemen, I do have the question for you of, are there any aspects of the game that maybe we didn't get a chance to show off in our playthrough here that you wanted to touch on?
I think, Chris, looks like Chris is trying to reconnect. I don't know. I think you pretty much covered
There
it.
were a lot of good. Sorry, I think I'm dropping out.
Yeah, you were dropping a little bit. You might be back now.
I have no idea where I am.
All right, you want to give it one more shot, Chris?
Yeah, I know. I think you got a good chance to see the choices, and Ken and I were watching. And there were moments where there were things where we were like, "Ooh, they could do this or they could do this," but
You had it figured out.
I like this.
sorry,
So.
you figure out the choices as you play. You get used to it.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I thought, I think I'm curious to how you guys felt about it. Did you enjoy the experience?
Absolutely. I had a great time playing it. So for all of our viewers that are watching this, we are going to do a little bit of a sign-off right here and then come back with our first impression session where we go a little bit more in-depth and we talk about our favorite aspects of the game, any constructive criticisms that we might have, and then the most important question of the evening of would we play this game again. But first, Anne, I'm sure that you've got some gnawing questions in the back of your head.
Do either of you have the meaning of life figured out?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Life is being kind and only slapping people upside the head that really deserve it.
Saw that one coming.
That one's for you, Anne.
Thank you. No, I mean, I think that the game was a whole lot of fun. I'm sure you guys are really excited to see it hit Kickstarter. I'm sure for you guys, this is always the anxious bit to see how well, the game does, how it's well received. We got to do the playthrough. It was a lot of fun. I really thought it was neat how you guys were able to manage to keep this game in under an hour with everything going on. When you were making this game, who are you really targeting this game towards? Who do you think is really going to love this game?
People who enjoy. Okay, so I consider it to be a medium weight game, and I think anybody who enjoys a game that's going to give you some strategic decisions and some tactical choices, but isn't going to take all night to play. That's what this game for people who want a fun experience. I'm breaking up again, aren't I?
Not too bad.
Chris, it makes me cry when you and I break up.
No, I think it's for families. Again, middle school age kids and on up. I think it's got cross-generational appeal. It's one that has light strategy with lots of choices, but I think it's hard to get into analysis paralysis because the movement cards limit the number of choices you have. And that keeps the number of choices a manageable level. And that's, again, an attempt to keep it balanced, but also keep you on the edge of what am I going to do next?
Look, I have to ask you guys, we got to talk about the game and the gameplay and really the meat
and potatoes
of the game. But the art on this game is absolutely wonderful and whimsical. Can you talk to me a little bit about how you guys decided on this artist, whose decision that was, and a little bit about the art direction for the game?
Yeah, that was 100% Peter Woken, who's amazing. And the artist is named Apolline Etienne. I think I'm saying that correct. Peter identified her, and I give all credit to Peter. They made all the choices about the art. Peter did an amazing job of some of the graphic design, and Apolline did the amazing art for all of this stuff. So I love it. I think it evokes that just happiness of an amusement park. And I got to say that the best thing Ken and I did for art for this game was stay the heck out of the way and let Peter do an amazing job.
Right. I also have to say that the Maple has, out of the gate, set up a focus on the art. Daryl is an amazing game designer. Peter is an amazing graphic designer with a great sense for what art is necessary. And he always streams all of his art sessions. So he's always being watched, and he's always listening to the people who chat. And so the people who are interested in the game always end up being part of the game. And that's true of both Dragon Boats and this, and I expect it to be true of all the Maple games. I think that's unique.
That is very cool to hear, yeah. That's something I haven't really seen before with a lot of other game companies, and it's cool that you're kind of getting instant public feedback on that.
Yeah. Yep. Very cool.
I want to hear from the introvert on the other end there.
Me? I had fun with it.
Yeah.
Who else?
I was joking.
Charrington.
Can you slap him outside the head, please?
No?
I don't deserve it on that one.
Yeah, you do. No, I had a lot of fun with this. We're going to talk about it more in our first impressions, but no, I enjoyed this. I'm a little salty that Matt won.
Oh, I know. I could see it in your face when I was tallying up the scores.
Yep.
Gentlemen, thank you so much.
That's one of the best compliments. Yeah, one of the best compliments we've been paid about the game is that when someone's done playing, they keep thinking about it and they want to play again because they're like, I think I could have made some choices and I think I could have won. And we've heard that time after time, and it's a wonderful thing to hear. People will talk to us the next day after they play and say, I just spent all night thinking about those stupid moves and I think I could have done better. I want to play again. So that's I love hearing that.
We're not interested in you buying our game, playing it once, and putting it on the shelf. We want this to be an experience that you come back to.
How long is the Kickstarter campaign?
21 days.
21 days. So, and will you guys be at PAX?
We will.
So
Ken and I will be there with the Calliope Games booth, but we'll be there, and after hours we'll be playing some Imagineers.
Perfect. So where can our audience find you guys if they're going to be attending PAX? How can they find
during
out
the day?
where
They can always stop by Calliope and say hi. We'll be demoing those games there. But after hours, we'll be wandering all over. So we'll be happy to get together after hours with anyone who wants to play.
And meantime, you can pick up a copy of the Mansky Caper, available at Calliope Games now.
That was a good one. That was pre-programmed in. You can tell that.
Yes.
I had that surgically implanted 6 months ago.
Still itches.
And anything else?
No, I think that was it, gentlemen. Thank you so much for taking the time tonight to come and hang out with us and to show us the game. Thank you so much for taking your time and your effort and giving us, Imagineers for our entertainment, for making something really awesome that we can enjoy.
Thank you so much for playing.
We're very, very grateful to have this chance. Thank you again.
It was an absolute pleasure, guys. Thank you again, and thank all of you for watching at home. We're going to do a soft sign-off right now, but we'll be back in just 1 second to bring you our first impression session. As I said before, we're going to give you our favorite aspects of the game, any constructive criticisms that we might have, and the most important question of the evening of would we play this game again. But signing off for now, this is Twist Gaming. I'm Matt.
I'm Ann.
I'm Josh.
Thanks again, guys. Have a good one.
Good night.